I'm here to help you out to understand Chapter 2 from your social study book. The imaginary lines, that is latitude and longitude or longitude. I want you to watch this video and try to understand the things and the points that you are going to learn from this chapter. So let's have a look.
Today we will learn the imaginary lines, that is latitude and longitude. We are aware that the globe is a small model of the Earth, and the shape of the Earth is like an orange. It is a sphere, which is slightly flattened at the top and at the bottom. When you look at the globe, you see a number of countries and important places marked on it. And there are different lines drawn or passing through different places. And in this chapter, we will learn about certain lines which are drawn on maps or globes to locate a place on the surface of the Earth or to give direction to the people. We already know that the axis of the Earth is an imaginary line passing through its center. And the Earth constantly rotates on its axis. The two ends of the axis of the Earth are called the poles. And the point in the north is the North Pole, and the point in the south is the South Pole. And we'll learn a bit more about these imaginary lines here in this chapter. The first one we'll see is the latitude. As we know, the equator is an imaginary line drawn halfway between the North Pole and in the South Pole. And the equator is also the most important latitude and is also called the Great Circle. It divides into two halves of the hemisphere, or it divides the Earth in two halves, or the hemisphere called the northern and the southern hemisphere. The equator is in 0 degree latitude, and the lines are measured from 0 to 90 degree, followed by the north or south. And then there are still 4 more important latitudes that you have to learn about, you have to understand about. They are Tropic of Cancer, that is in 23.5 degree north. Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 degrees south, just below equator. And Arctic Circle, that is 66.5 degree north, and Antarctic Circle, that is 66.5 degree south. So these latitudes are parallel to each other and can therefore never meet. So the next one we will learn is longitude. Beside the latitude, we see another set of lines which runs from north to the south on the globe. This longitude, the line will run, or when you look in this globe or in the map or in the globe, there you will find that the line running from the north to south, or the North Pole to the South Pole, okay, so that line is called the longitude. And these are also known as meridians of longitude. The word meridian means midday, and hence a meridian of longitude joins places which have midday at the same time. The important points of longitudes that you have to understand, you have to memorize, you have to learn is the longitudes are semicircles that meet at 2 poles. Okay. So these longitudes are a semicircle that always meet at the 2 poles, north and the south. And the longitudes are farthest apart at the equator, and gradually the gap between 2 degrees as we move towards the pole where the longitude meets. And all the lines of the longitudes are of same length as they extend from the North Pole to the South Pole. There is one important subtopic that you have to learn in this chapter, that is grid and time. The latitudes and longitudes crisscross each other and form a network of lines called a grid. And this longitude helps us to calculate the time of a place.